Welcome back. Today we're going to discuss mullein and its benefits and its uses and how to harvest it. Mullein belongs to the mint family and it is known for its medicinal properties. It's native to Asia and Europe and it's been in use for centuries in herbal traditional medicine. So some common uses for mullein would be a few we can talk about. A digestive aid for your stomach. It has anti-inflammatory properties and helps with digestion. Can help with a stomach ache. Mullein can help with indigestion and bloating, and it can help promote healthy digestion. It helps with menstrual cramps as well, and it can also promote overall reproductive health. It has a soothing effect and it can provide relief from discomfort and bloating during menstruation. Mullein is also good for colds and flus. Mullein has antioxidant properties that can help fight off infections for the cold and flu, and it has expectorant properties that can also help clear your nasal passages and for your respiratory health. Mullein also can help with skin problems such as acne, eczema, and psoriasis. It can help alleviate itching, scratching, and skin irritation. It's very good for various skin conditions. Mullein is really good for respiratory health. If you have asthma or COPD, you can try using mullein for these conditions. Mullein has a wide range of benefits. It is a great anti-inflammatory. It has helped reduce the inflammation in your body and help reduce pain. It also helps with fighting off infections, which will reduce your illness. And it's an expectorant. It can help get all of the mucus out of your respiratory tract. And it also has a soothing effect on the body to help alleviate discomfort. You can try making a tea with mullein with the leaves. Dry the leaves out and then use 2 teaspoons for a cup of hot tea to drink. Mullein is a common wild plant that can be found growing in open fields, meadows, and alongside the road. It is native to Europe and it can be found in North America and other parts of the world. If you're interested in foraging mullein, look for the areas that has well-drained soil and plenty of sunlight. Mullein can be harvested throughout the year depending on the specific variety that's growing and the conditions. The best time to harvest it is when the flowers are in full bloom and the leaves are at their peak. The leaves can be collected by hand or cut the stems. It is important to harvest the leaves early in the morning or later in the evening because that's when they're at their freshest. Typically, mullein blooms in the second year of its growth, producing tall yellow spikes. However, some mullein varieties may bloom in their first year under certain growing conditions. And there are different varieties of mullein. 2 varieties would be moth mullein, and then also you have the nettle leaf mullein. The flowers make a wonderful herbal tea. You can dry the flowers or you can use the flowers fresh to make the tea. You can dry the leaves and the flowers, and it also helps to preserve their medicinal properties and it makes them easier to store and to use. And to dry the flowers and the leaves, just simply lay them out in a single layer in a clean, dry place and let them dry. And you can put them on a drying rack and then allow them to air dry in a cool, well ventilated area without direct sunlight. and then you can store them in a airtight container away from moisture and heat and sunlight to help maintain their freshness. Once the herbs have dried, you can take those and store them in. I put everything in a glass mason jar. You can also use those dried herbs and you can encapsulate those and put them in a capsule, and they can be taken as a supplement. And this allows for convenience and consistent dosing of the herb. And it's convenient, especially if you don't like the teas. Another thing you can do is make a tincture. Mullen herb can be tinctured using alcohol. I use 80 proof vodka to extract the medicinal properties. The tincture can be taken orally and used topically. And I use vodka, or you can use Everclear, and you just put it in a mason jar, put the herb in there, the dried leaves and flowers, pour the vodka over it or Everclear, and you're going to shake it up, put it in the cupboard in the back where it is dry and it's a dark place. Let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to want to check on it every day and shake it up a little bit and put it back in there. And then at the end of your period, 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to strain it and you're going to get all of the herb out of it, and then you're going to have your tincture. And I bottle it into the 2 ounce bottles that have the droppers, and make sure you use the amber colored, the dark colored jars, or either bottles, tincture bottles. It keeps the light out, and it that way the herb stays fresher longer. Mullein can be applied topically to the skin. Use it with a carrier oil such as coconut oil or olive oil. The herb can be infused into the oil, and it can be made into a poultice to be applied directly to the affected areas. It'll help the inflammation and the itching. And also, we're going to get back to making the teas. The teas is my favorite thing to use if you have a upper respiratory infection, even in your chest or with your sinuses. That hot tea is really good to sip on. You can use the dry herb, or you can also use the fresh flowers and the leaves. You're going to probably want to dice those up and just steep them in the boiling hot water for about 10-15 minutes. It's the best thing for a flu and cold. And then, so in conclusion, I wanted to say that mullein is a versatile herb, and it has rich history of being used in the for herbal medicine for thousands of years. It has a wide range of uses and benefits, and the ease of harvesting it or um, can also make it very a valuable addition to any herbal medicine cabinet or first aid for your herbal first aid kit. That's going to be a must for, because it has so many uses. And so whether you're going to take it internally as in a tea or in capsule form, mullein, it can just provide relief for various ailments, and it can promote overall health. You can also use mullein as a salve. Just like with using it with a carrier oil, you can also make a salve with it. You can take that carrier oil and add some melted beeswax, and create a salve for it to help soothe the skin. So I would imagine it would work really well as far as putting it on your face for acne. And one thing I didn't mention was that if you're going to make capsules, you're going to want to use those herbs, and you can grind them up. I use a coffee grinder for the coffee beans. You got to make sure it's clean and it doesn't have debris in it. So I use that, but and you can use the powder form to put in the capsules. So it is a very good herb to use to promote overall health and well-being. And I hope you've really enjoyed this segment on mullein. It's such a versatile herb. It has many uses. And I will be seeing you next week here in the countryside with our next herb that we're going to be talking about. So stay tuned and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and leave a comment or two. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.